Plague. Poverty. Overcrowding.
Today we're here to find out what was life like in the 17th and 18th century Britain, and what roles did class, gender, religion, and death play. Come to Bunhill burial ground to engage with the dead in order to find out.
We're not frightened of you!
In the 16th century, the land was used as a depository for bones, earning it the name Bunhill. In 1665, it was designated as a site for plague victims due to the overflowing church grounds that could not accommodate them. However, it gradually became a non-conformist graveyard. Although there were many throughout London, Bunhill is the only one remaining in the city of London today. It houses famous non-conformists such as John Bunhill, famous authors like Daniel Defoe. There are over 2,000 monuments, but over 123,000 other bodies were interred here for 300 years, mainly from other non-conformist Christian backgrounds. The graveyard continued to be filled until 1854, filled to the brim when it was shut. It says, to contact the dead, you'll be using this Ouija board. Now, paranormal experts say this is a dangerous idea. We are professionals in this field. No. Oh, we're getting resistance from the spirit. L. I. T. Y. Inequality. It's true. There was a lot of inequality back in the 16th and 17th century Britain, and class was a very important aspect of life. The rich-poor divide persisted even after death, and Bunhill is a prime example. The more the city of London grew, the more expensive burial plots and embellishments became, meaning that the wealthiest and therefore the most powerful members of society could afford the most extravagant graves. For example, one of the grandest graves here is that of Dame Mary Page, wife of MP Sir Gregory Page, a wealthy merchant and politician. Now, through the inscription on the side relates this to her extreme suffering. Many of the people in this site have had an equally awful experience, and yet they don't have huge tombs or carefully preserved inscriptions on their sides. In fact, many inscriptions are no longer even legible. G, E, N, D, E, R. Gender also played an important role in society back in those days, and typically women were thought of having a lesser role to play in. Oh my god. What? Oh my god! Oh my god! Go! Is this William Blake? Can you tell us about Bunhill Fields?
Not really, no. I was dead by the time I got here.
Don't you want to tell us something about non-conformity and gender, William Blake? That's what the Ouija board told us. We really want to know.
Well, non-conformist women had a greater role in the church, I'd say. Not I really know much, not in my area. But definitely had more equality within the church than within general life. So I'm going to go back to sleep now, is that alright?
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, William.
Although William Blake wasn't very helpful, we were able to gather some information of our own.
The evangelical revival of the 17th century had an impact on the positions of women in non-conformist churches. They began to participate in religion in a way unseen before, taking up roles of preachers and educators, roles previously only ever taken by men. The rise of equality within non-conformist religions is reflected in the great spaces and extravagant graves used to bury them.
And so, having thoroughly annoyed the ghosts of Bunhill Fields,
and finding that they were not particularly useful in our investigation,
we left.
Get out.
Sadly, William Blake was unavailable for comments. However, this does not mean that we can't learn anything about gender, class, religion, and death in the 17th and 18th century. Thus, we shall use the space and place as a whole to try and learn.